Hello and welcome. This character profile video is for the class Blade Master. And what you're going to see in this video is all of his skills, the top 8 PVE and PVP skills I recommend, his enhancements, player card, and a gameplay video. Sorry about that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it and show you Blade Master. Here we go. Okay, if you are new to this video and to these slides, I'll briefly introduce it to you. On the far left is all of his skills. On the far right are the specials that go with each skill. And then the column to the right of the skills is charges. That's how many times you can use the skill. The next one is hits, which is how many times the skill can hit the thing or object you're fighting. And then the next column is damage PVE. That's the highest percentage damage against a creature or any monster or anything in the world. And the last column is damage PVP. That is the highest percentage damage you can do against another player and their character. So I wanted to just jump in and say this. When looking at Blade Master, the thing that I noticed that stands out the most is he is a multi-hit master. He'll give Sura a run for his money, but this guy, he's got some skills. Sure, when you're looking at it, you're like, no, I don't see very high percentage damages. Well, if you multiply that times how many times he can hit you, and once he gets you down on the ground, he gets those free hits, that's deadly. So take a look at this slide and let's go ahead and move on to the top 8 PVE skills that I recommend, and I'll see you there. Here we go. So what I've done on this slide is I've taken all of the damage-PVE and I've organized it from highest percentage of damage all the way down to the lowest. So these are the top 8 that I recommend. You don't have to use them, they're just a recommendation. But if you're asking me, well, what is my hardest hitting skill? Straight out of the gate, just if I hit once, it's hard hitting, it is Crescendo for PvE. Now, if you look, as I mentioned in the previous slide, this guy is a multi-hit master, Blade Master. So if you take Retaliation, that one hits 4 times. So obviously if he gets all 4 hits in, it's going to be much better than Crescendo. But straight out of the gate, just 1 hit, there you go. So the other thing is, I want to just point out, look at the super armor and red, and just note that it means that you cannot use it in arena. So we'll cover that in more detail for PvP, but take a moment to look at all this and just take your time, and then let's go ahead and move on to the PvP slide, and that's where most of the talking will be. So I will see you there. Here we go. Alright, welcome to the PvP slide, and there's a lot of ground to cover here. So the obvious is in front, which is I've organized this one according to damage PvP from highest percentage going down. And I know that if you look at other character profile videos, you'd be like, he doesn't even have a 1k percentage hit. This guy is not any good. But take a bigger look. I've said it in the last 2 slides. He's a multi-hit master, and Pearl Abyss gives you the skills to get your hits in. So what I would do, and this is a recommendation, obviously Crescendo is your hardest hitting one, but what I would do is I would start out with, yeah, there it is. Retaliation. It's because you have forward guard and super armor, which I've never seen in a skill. I've never seen someone get both forward guard and super armor in one skill. So, and it dazes your opponent and knocks them down. They're down. They're on the ground. You get 4 hits in. So what are you going to do after that? Well, heck, if they come out of it, you can pull out your evasive strike and be invincible while using the skill and stun. Or maybe, just maybe, you're low on health and you want to regain some health. This will be covered more in the enhancement slide, but Rising Storm, look to that because it has a heal component once you unlock it. So if it's unlocked you can get your 4 more hits in on Rising Storm and heal yourself at the same time. Do you see how Blade Master is starting to be more appealing? He can heal himself while you're on the other guy's on the ground trying to get up. So enough of that. PvP wise, this is a character you want to try out all his skills, see that he gets his multi-hits in, and play around with it. See which ones you like. I mean, even Rest in Peace has knockback on the first hit and knockdown on the last hit. So if you get that last hit in, I mean, you can hit him 5 times. So, and of course, I should not ever forget what you're looking at the very bottom. Ascended Spirit. It's a passive ability. So if you use Rising Storm, Squall, or Rest in Peace 2 times, which you are allowed to use them twice, where everything else is once, then you get a stack of more damage on top of all of that, which is a crit chance of 70% on top of everything you're already doing. So this guy is about knocking you down, hitting you multiple times, knocking you down again, healing himself just for the joy of it, and hitting you multiple times. So this guy is deadly, so don't take him lightly. And that is the PvP slide. So take a moment and look at this, and let's go on to see the enhancements. Here we go. Welcome to the enhancement slide. So the way I normally introduce this slide is your skills are on the left, your branch damage it's connected to is on the right, and then I usually tell you that the 3 columns in the front, or the first, second, and fourth, are things that do something for you, and the 3rd column is something that happens to the person you're fighting against. But I encountered something new that I haven't come across with any of the characters thus far. So Blade Master is the first one that I've seen, and that is, well, I think, yeah, Warlord has 1 of these, but Blade Master has 2. 5 enhancements, and then one of them is still connected to branch damage. So what I'm talking about is Rising Storm. It's really tough to fit all of this in when you're just thrown a lot of stuff. So Rising Storm has another skill on top of it once you unlock it, which does more damage, 50% more for PvP damage, which is appealing to people who do PvP. Additional attack if you hold down the button. You can't use super armor, but that's not really a concern because there's a lot of other skills that do have super armor, and it knocks them up on hit. That is appealing right there, just that extra component. And this is what I was telling you about. It heals 140 hit points per hit, but if you get a lot of hits in, this enhancement is worth your time. So take a look at that. The other one is Retaliation. 5 things. I mean, it's not connected to branch damage, that's fine, but again, that new skill, that flow that's added on top, also has forward guard and super armor and daze, just everything that Retaliation has. A plus 20 defense for 10 seconds. I mean, this guy is being given all the components to knock you down, and all the abilities to swing at you multiple times. So I'm excited. The enhancement section for him just got destroyed, but take a moment to look at this, and let's go ahead and move on to the player card. Here we go. And welcome to the player card. So if you're familiar with my character profile videos, I put together what's called a player card. It's like a baseball card, and it's where you can come to check out a new character or one you're interested in and see everything in one screen. You know, take a moment to just look over all the data and see what you can do with the character and how they stand out. But let me go ahead and introduce each of its components. At the very top is the 8 PVE and PVP skills I recommended, highlighted in green. On the right of that is something new. It's called Immobilization. Now, I count everything that can happen to you, knock down, knock up, stun, bound. those things immobilize you because you need to spend animation to get up or get ready again. I kind of am not counting knockback as an immobilization because you're knocked back, you move out of the way. If there was a way that knockback would hold you for a few more, then I would add it into this immobilization. But what you're looking at is that just about almost all of his skills, Rising Storm, I don't count that as one that immobilizes you, but everything has an immobilization component, and Retaliation, as you've heard me say, has too. So the reason I highlighted Rest in Peace in red is because it not only has, let me just scroll down there real quick. There we go. So it not only does it knock your opponent down, but it has a knockback. So I didn't want to ignore that. That's why I highlighted it in red, and I would have highlighted Rising Storm in red as well, but I just can't do that and claim that there's one immobilization when all that you have with Rising Storm is a knockback. So if you want to get the person on the ground and get your hits in, the ones highlighted in green will do it. So below that is all the skills unlocked, and below that are all the enhancements. And just in case you are wondering, well, I should point out that anything that's highlighted in red on this screen, you can't do in Arena. Anything that is highlighted in gold or yellow, you can't do in Path of Glory. So Rising Storm that heals you does not work in Path of Glory, so be aware of that. But if you're wondering, well, what does Forward Guard and Super Armor mean? Let's just give you the definition. Forward Guard, it's at the bottom. This means that incoming damage will be either 0 or heavily reduced. This is why, where'd it go? This is why Retaliation is the most talked about skill and enhancement I've been doing on this video, is because it has Forward Guard and Super Armor in it. So let's tell you Super Armor. This means that incoming damage will be reduced, and the effects that immobilize you, like stun, knockdown, freeze, etc., will not happen for a duration of time. That's why all the top PvPers rotate the Super Armor and something else that does heavy damage and Super Armor, and they just keep mixing it up so that they always have a Super Armor active. So if you're going into PvP, be aware of this, and you should do it too, so that you can enjoy and have more fun. So take a moment to look at this slide. This is the player card, and when you're ready, the music is going to change. We'll jump right into the gameplay video and show you what the Blade Master can do. Here we go. Welcome to the gameplay video. So before we get started, let's go ahead and show you where we're at. We are over here in Balanos, and we are at Kron Castle entrance. It's a favorite of mine. Sorry. It's mostly because their CP is 2519 and our CP is 3244. A lot better than Warlord this time around. But we always have an auto path to where we go, so we can show you the fighting. And what I'm going to do is have him fight for about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to go to a town, do my outro, and say thank you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to our spot and have you enjoy all the damage that is Blade Master. Have fun. Here we go. Okay, it's just about time for us to head to town. So let's go ahead and get that going here. There we go. And while the screen loads, let me just begin my outro and say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, like, share, let people know. I'm always making more videos, and I still have a lot more to do, and Pearl Abyss is going to keep me making more for sure. And this is a really great game to do so. So once again, let's go ahead and position him so we can get him displayed. Yeah, without the see-through wall. That'll work. So thank you once again. I enjoy making this for you. So you have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye now.